Take one. Hello, Miss Tasha. How are you doing today? My name is May. I'll be your counselor for today. Could you please tell me what brings you in today?
Hi, May. Thank you very much. I'm here just to talk about what's been laying heavy on my heart lately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you want me to get very specific and just dive right in?
Yes, please. Feel comfortable.
Okay. So lately I've been thinking about my dad a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up with him. He hasn't been in my life. I grew up in a single parent household with my mother. So from time to time, I do think of my dad.
I understand. I see.
hmm Um, just because, like, he might have been financially supportive at some point in time in my life for a little bit. And now that I'm a little bit older, we don't talk at all. We don't have any contact. Um, when I was younger, we did speak a little bit, and he was in my life more. And then now he's not. So that's been a big adjustment for me.
Okay, I see. I understand. So, if what I'm hearing is that you and your dad do not have the best relationship, you didn't get a chance to get to know him as you grew up, and even now in your adulthood, you still feel that you don't have that closeness that you would like.
Yeah, basically. Um, I mean, I know you said that we don't have the best relationship, which, in a way, I guess you could say that, but also it's like you just don't really have a relationship.
Okay, I understand. And how does that make you feel?
I guess it makes me feel sad. I don't care for it, but then I also know like it's something I kind of have to move on from.
And why do you feel that you have to move on?
That's a good question. Because I feel like in life, maybe you shouldn't dwell on things, but I also see how that can affect you.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing where you come from and who your parents are is a really big thing that a lot of people need to know. And I do know stuff about my heritage, like where my dad is from, the
Mm-hmm.
language he speaks, and I could look in a history book and learn about the customs about where he's from. But that's really all I can know about my dad. That's it. And that kind of sucks. It'd be good to know more.
Okay. So, from what I'm hearing, moving on is not the always the best thing, but you also don't want to dwell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel that knowing him will help you determine yourself?
Mm, no, it won't help me determine myself. I think it would fulfill some of the things that I seek, like maybe validation and love from that missing parent.
Okay, I see. I see. I understand. And
hmm
what are ways that you feel you not only have been affected, but also have been crippling to you?
Not like you mean not having a relationship with my dad. Like, how has that affected me? What are the ways that it's affected me or maybe crippled me?
Yes.
So many ways. It's like how I interact with others. Um, Maybe I'm not so trusting of people. I'm to myself. Or maybe that could just be my personality. Or maybe it has a little bit to do with, lack of dad. And then the other thing is also my view on men. I might not trust them as much. And then also, if I'm seeking to be in a relationship with someone, I'm probably looking for someone that will be there for me. And then if I think long term, being in a relationship and maybe one day starting a family with someone, I'm looking for a man that will be able to be a father to his children. I don't want to have kids and then they don't have a father in their life, because I know how that feels. So I'm a lot more like critical maybe and not trusting of men. And then, because you said, what are the ways that it affects me? I think it just affects how I show up in all of the relationships that I have. Like, maybe I'm not so open and trusting, and I think maybe I'm just hurt from him not like talking to me now. That it hurts my feelings and it makes me feel sad.
Okay. So from what I'm hearing, reflecting on it has allowed you to realize some big effects that it might have on yourself and your personality. And you are working on dealing with that, but also for your future in your life, you would like someone who is dependable, that you can depend on, and will be a good father that you did not receive.
Yeah, and we'll be there, like you said, dependent. Like, they'll be there for me, and I can rely on them, and they'll be there. That's really important, to have that emotional connection and stability.
Okay. All right. So I do feel like we've covered a lot. Is there anything else that you might want to discuss?
I mean, it's mostly just about my dad, really. I mean, I could go into detail about the different ways that it's affecting me.
And you feel that even today it affects you?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about him the other day, because I did, like, I remember there was a time when I was like angry with him, and I did a lot of work to like work through that anger, and also understand that he was a person. Like, this is his first time being a person and being, I guess, a parent. He has other kids, but like, we're all here, we're all trying to do our best. So I just thought about him, like, I thought like I got over feeling like, oh, my dad's not here, but just because I thought about him recently, it just shows me like that's something that's really deep that can still affect you, and it's okay to think about it every now and then. And the thought that I had was like, I don't even know if he's dead or alive. I don't know. And that thought right there sucks.
Yes, I understand that. Yes, I do. So it's so what you're saying is, despite the fact that you don't have a relationship with him, you still worry. You have
I still care, which I don't really care to care. I'd rather just be over and done with it, because we don't talk, and like, it's not like he's made an effort to talk with me. So I thought I worked through all of my like trauma or whatever, but it turns out, as it would turn out, that even though he wasn't there for me in the way that I wanted, to this day, I could say all these bad things about him, but at the end of the day, I still care. And I think I kind of just have to like accept and acknowledge that.
So what I heard was you applied him to be a person. So instead of putting him in that role as the father, like with huge responsibilities, you have put yourself in that as remembering that just like you're a person, he's a person. So we all make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that reason, it still allows you to have some type of love for him.
Well, I feel like me having love for him is only just because of the fact that he's my father.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
like I do get that. Yeah, he's a person, and that could be something that can like help me have more empathy or understanding for him. But let's say I didn't have that, just like he's always gonna be a part of me because he's my father, you know.
Understood. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have covered a lot this session, and from what I understand, we do have a lot more to cover for next session because you still have a lot about your dad you would like to discuss and just be able to analyze for yourself. So we will discuss that next session. Thank you so much for coming in, and I truly hope that you do find a way to be able to discuss these things with your father so that he will be able to hear the things that you need to say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you. It was really helpful to be able to have a space to talk about this sort of thing.
Well, thank you for coming in, Tasha. It was great to see you. I'll see you next time.